I'm doing great. It was such a fun episode last week. I can't wait for this week.
It was really great. For our friends, if you missed it, go back and check it out because we talk about three very powerful words that are going to help you out. And so it's a whole really framework and a great idea that you cannot miss it. So, well, today we're going to talk about patience. This idea of building patience, which I think it becomes harder and harder for us as artists because we have this big pressure and push to do everything and to jumping on things early on because then you'll miss them, right? There's now this new word that's been used everywhere, FOMO, fear of missing out. And, so like you don't want to be the last one to jump into this or to do that or to take this new app or to try that new thing or, and it's like we are constantly like in fast forward mode. And I think, that's not healthy for us, right? I think at the end of the day, we want to live as we talk, you and I, Beth, often here in the episode or in this show, about building an art career or a creative career that you love to live and that you enjoy. And I think that's what it's all about. So have you felt, Beth, that, this kind of a rush pace that often seems to be like pushing us in this FOMO mode?
Yeah, I used to a long time ago, whenever I wasn't really sure of myself and my work. And I thought, well, I should do this or I should do that. Or, I think we look outside of ourselves for answers. Mm-hmm. And that could be the cause of feeling that pressure. Mm-hmm. But when I think you look within yourself for answers, you start to connect to what's true for you. And that makes all the other outside voices less important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. I'm going to give you like 3 different things you can do, to go against this FOMO mentality or fear of missing out. You better rush, you better get it done, you better go quickly at it, before it's gone, which I think it's happening more and more. I saw it, particularly last year in 2021, where more things are happening, technology keeps changing. New platforms seem to show up every day, new marketplaces, new NFTs, technologies, Web3. I mean, you start hearing all these names and headlines and all of us are like, I better move quickly. So I want to kind of provide us all with kind of like 3 things that can help us to alleviate that, to be able to manage, that stress so that we can be more patient. And, for those who know me personally, and, as you, Beth, that I'm a very patient guy. I'm quite patient here in my house, I'm very patient and they kind of know that. So, I feel that for as much as I preach, like, on my social media account, like, let's do this, let's do that, in behind the scenes, I'm very patient. So I'm going to tell you, these 3 things that hopefully can help you also be patient. Because patient doesn't mean that you are slow or you are the last one to jump into something. You're just giving yourself time, the adequate time that you need. So the first one I want to share with you is take time to listen and learn before you jump into something new right away. I think a lot of mistakes happen when we jump into something that we just read a headline that I should be doing and I just got in, jump in, and it failed or it didn't work out or whatever it may be because we didn't take time to first listen and to learn, right? Listen and learn. And I think that's something super important, no matter what you're going into a new thing, whether it's an app or a way of doing things or a new, thing that you want to try. Take some time to listen first and learn before you jump into something. And I think that's going to build up a little bit of patience in you and say, okay, it's okay. It's okay. This is important. I can see it's super important for me, but I need a little bit of time to learn about it. How's that sound?
Love it. I think creating that space between, like, when you're thinking about things, when you're taking action, I think is a really valuable space to explore. And then you can find out, well, why is this important to me? What is it that I need to know? Who else knows about this that I can maybe talk to about it, instead of just like, I'm going to just jump right in fearlessly. Sometimes we do that though. We just jump into the deep end, learn to swim there. But maybe it would be easier if we took some time to prepare ourselves beforehand. So Love that first tip.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean procrastination either, because you can also say, "Well, I'm still listening and learning forever," but you never took action, right? And here in our conversations, we always talk about taking action, super important, but just to give yourself that adequate cushion time so you know what you're doing. And then the second one that I think is super important is finding your own rhythm or pace, which I think when something comes in new tends to disrupt us. So often what it does is tries to accelerate the pace in which we are functioning or working at. And that's what creates the stress. All of a sudden, you don't have time. All of a sudden, you forgot some deadlines. All of a sudden, now you have another thing that you got to do after your already busy schedule. So it comes to disrupt your rhythm. And all these things happen all the time. So finding your own rhythm and your pace allows you that when one of these disruptors come in, even if it's a really good thing, to find how you can slowly bring it into that new rhythm. And it could even be something as simple as, okay, now more people are doing video on social media, right? How can I implement that in my rhythm of showing up in a way that is not going to now disrupt my whole thing? So I'm thinking like, all this stressful, I gotta do more videos. Just kind of honoring or recognizing your rhythm and finding how you're gonna bring that new thing into that rhythm versus you jumping into whatever rhythm the other thing is at.
Yeah, I love that because it reminds me of flow, and we all have different paces of flow, different rhythms, like you were saying. And if we can jump into that in a way that is honoring who we are as individuals and the things that we want to do and the things that we're already currently doing so that we don't overwhelm ourselves, that feels like balance. And I love that.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, we all have different rhythm, different pace, and also at different times or seasons in life. There are seasons in which you need to slow down and you slow down. And it's okay if the world continues to go fast. And there are seasons in which like, okay, I got a lot of time. I'm going to pick up and move faster. And that's okay. But the difference, like you set the pace versus everybody else setting the pace for you. If you don't set up your own pace, everybody will tell you, you should go faster. You should go faster. You should go faster. So I think that's kind of like finding that. And it is hard in a world in which we are pressured by all these things we need to do, finding our own pace and our own rhythm. And then the third one and last one I want to share with you. So we talk about first, take time to listen and to learn, find your own pace and your rhythm. And your third one, which will be also listen to yourself and watch your stress level. Because a lot of times our stress level is our indicators or gauging tool to figure out, okay, if my stress level is going up, there's gotta be a reason, right? I'm accelerating my pace too much. And that's why I'm stressed out. That's why I'm, having short answers to my kids or my friends. So that's why I keep forgetting to, call my friends or reply to that phone call or go out for coffee with somebody I really want to be with, is because, we are building up that stress level. So being in tune with our bodies, with our mind, and listening to ourselves, something that you talk a lot bit about, I think is super important to realize, wait a minute, my FOMO is kicking in, my fear of missing out for absolutely no reason, when I can go back, claim it again, and lower that stress. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we act like as artists, like somebody's taking notes, like, oh, Beth, you forgot to post today, you were supposed to do a video, you didn't do it, and then all of a sudden we have this big stress, like nobody's taking notes, nobody's doing. If you don't get to do it today, it's always tomorrow. So
I love it. I'm all about reducing that stress level. The best that we can do is listen to ourselves, because our body will tell us where we're at. And sometimes we just need to rest. Yeah. I was reading something the other day about the different types of rest that we can do, emotional rest, physical rest, and mental rest, all these things that I think if we compartmentalize our rest, like we'll actually rest better. And I was thinking about, I think I need a lot of emotional rest. Whatever that looks like, I need it, because when I feel my nervous system starting to fire off at me with the stress and the overwhelm, the best thing to do is just turn all those senses off, like laying down in a dark room really helps me. But for those of you who are feeling the stress, listen to it, like Sergio says, so that you learn how to manage it so much better.
Yeah, and that just reminded me, my wife and I were finishing the book that we were writing for artists on mindset and wellness. And so I was, reading the chapter, so I could respond to it. And so I sit down on a couch, very comfortable in the morning, and so I'm reading it, and then I fell asleep, for like an hour,
Oh
and
my gosh.
I woke up, and I'm like, geez, I should have been already writing by this time, but then I realized, wait, I remembered about this, that I'm talking about today. Well, it's okay. My body needed the rest, my brain needed the rest, and actually, I think what I wrote was much better than if I had just pushed myself to do the job, because my brain said, take a break, take a break, and so that everything kind of works out better. So yeah, listening to ourselves, listening to our bodies, super important. Not pushing it, and don't be afraid of missing out. You are okay as long as you are an action taker and you continue to take action. Just don't rush into falling into things that otherwise will just cause a lot of stress in your life when everybody's still around here. So that's it, Beth. That's it. That's all I have to say today.
Love it.
Excellent. So where can our friends, Beth, find you and connect with you on social media or on the web?
Well. You guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Beth English. And my website's bethenglish.com. And I would love to connect with you. So send me a message and let's say hi.
Absolutely.
I love it. What about you?
For me, you guys can find me at Sergio Gomez Art, whatever you may be at. And my website, sergiogomezonline.com. And the Artist Next Level at theartistnextlevel.com. So thank you guys for watching this. Hope you have a great time. Make sure that you take time to listen to yourself. Be patient, exercise patience, super important. Maybe this week, exercise patience. Maybe you're already at a certain stress level today. Exercise patience and let us know how that goes. So see you later, my friends. Till next week. Goodbye.
Bye.